So, if you need to live below your means, on $153 worth of bills, then that's what you do, guys. You know? I mean, again, it all comes down to your habits with money and your lifestyle and the way you want to live. So, that's my financial statement, okay? $153 worth of bills. Now, the beautiful thing with mine, and like I said earlier, when you're paying yourself first, most of my bills, 85% of my bills, go straight into a joint account with the person I'm renting from. So, in other words, it's the snowball effect. My income just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger every single month. All right, it's life changing. It really is. And so if you're not doing it right now, start. And you can just write it out: income, expenses, assets, liabilities. Or write them down, and then start changing your cash flow patterns and paying yourself first, guys. It's really important. It really is. It's the key to survival. It's the key to generating wealth over time. And trust me, it will pay off for you. Now, for me, like my assets, I've got short-term assets, mid-term assets, and long-term assets. My short-term assets, though, here, they bring in anywhere between $580 a month on up. Like, I don't have a cap limit. So, if all it's taken me is really my rent, which would be like $400, and my bills of $153, if it's only taking me $553 to live a month, guys, anything outside of that is just a perk. When it comes to, of course, I gotta pay money to eat, so some of it goes there, but for the most part, anything extra that I have, it can go into a cushion where I can, because I don't have a 9-to-5 job, there is a little bit of a difference between me and somebody who may have a boss when it comes to consistency. But see, my consistency, again, I'm disciplined. I treat it like a day job with my assets and managing them and stuff like that. So for me, it's, I've been doing this now for about 5 months, full time, on my own, being a business owner, investing, watching my investments, creating money for myself, and not being dependent on a company. So for me, it's been working, and I don't plan on going back to a 9-to-5. I really don't. If I have to, I've asked myself that question a couple times, and I said, Casey, if things go south and you can't, because some things are out of your control, if you have to go back to a 9-to-5, can you do it? Well, yeah, absolutely, because I have skill sets. I was an IT engineer before this, and I wasn't the best, but I sure as hell can go out there and get another job. There's always a need for employees, and there's a world full of plenty of choices. So yeah, for me, it's a security thing for most people. For me, I got rid of that, and it's just a mindset. And part of that mindset has to do with your financial statement. And here's the other thing that I think is funny, guys. You get, you go into a bank, okay? You can put on a $500, $1,000 suit, Armani, look good. If you're a woman, you can dress, to your T, and just bring your A game when it comes to your appearance. Especially like if you're, driving a fancy car and you're looking good. But here's the thing: you go into a bank, and you try to persuade bankers to give you money just based off your appearance and what you're driving as far as a car. They don't fucking care. They don't give a shit. They don't. And then the other thing they don't care about, go ahead and show them your grade card and your grades that you made, and show them how smart you are on paper when it comes to your education system, with college and high school, and what you did in the past with all that. Show a banker that, and try to get money from him because you say you're smart. He's going to laugh you right out of the bank. Or she. They don't care. What they care about is this right here, guys. And the reason why is because I'm going to tell you a story real quick and then I'll wrap this up. There was a man, a father of 3 sons, who gave money to all 3 of his sons. Okay, the first one buried the money in his backyard. The second one bought a house and a car. And then the third one went out and produced 10 times the money that the father gave him. So if the father gave him like $5,000, he came back with 50 grand and gave it back to his dad and said, here you go. Now what happened was the father looked at his sons and he said, wow, these 2, one's buried it, in the backyard, saving it for a rainy day. Well, he's going to lose his money, to inflation. So if I'm going to get money out from here on out, it's not going to be him. The other one, well, he just bought a house and a car, so he's in debt. He's got liabilities. I'm not going to give my money to him either. Who am I going to give my money to? I'm going to give it to the third son, who just gave me $50,000 back on my my $5,000 or whatever that I gave him. What I'm saying is it builds trust, guys. It builds trust because he knew what to do with the money, and it came down to his discipline and cash flow patterns and behaviors. And if you go into a bank, and you show them this cash flow pattern that I'm showing you right now, all right, chances are, I'm not saying it's 100% guaranteed that you're going to get a loan or whatever from them, because you have to show consistency and you have to show you've been doing this for a little bit. But if you're consistent and you can show that the money is there and you can show what you're doing with the money that you have to produce more money, you show that to a banker, what do you think that's going to do as far as your trust with the banker? Because the banker is just like the father in that story I was telling you about. All right, so it's a good way also to raise capital if you're looking to get into some business investments or create a business around like real estate or something like that. So again, it's life-changing, guys. Life-changing, and it changed my life forever. And again, it really comes down to 3 things, all right? It's communication, discipline, and knowledge. Or you got to practice those things day in and day out. You can't just do it once or twice, all right? You can't just read a book and expect to be an expert in everything. It's not going to happen, I've been doing this for 6 years, researching and then investing and doing all the things I'm talking about. I'm actually living that life now. And just 6 years ago, I had no idea what I was doing. I was homeless. I was living in the backseat of a car for 6 months. And now I'm just a completely different person. I'll never go back to that. It made me a lot stronger, and it changed a lot of my behaviors. Just because, it was pretty cutthroat. It was strong. Only the strong survive. So for me, it really did a lot of good for me. But, I'm not saying go out and be homeless or anything like that. I'm just saying start disciplining yourself, even if you have a job right now, and start watching these things. Because once you watch it and you know where your money's going, you're going to do some very powerful things later on. And if you've got assets going, your paychecks get bigger and bigger. And I cover a lot of that in detail in another video. But again, this is all stuff. If you want to be financially independent, debt-free, this is where it starts. Okay? I'm done talking. I know I've done a lot of talking here, and hopefully I didn't bore you guys. But I've got some other videos that I'm working on right now. But go in and watch some of the other videos that I have, because I go into dividend investing. I cover the ETFs in detail. I cover taxes on a lot of the investments, because you're going to have to know a lot of that stuff when you get investing. Also getting out of debt. I've got an approach there that I used that paid off $22,000 for me in 2 years. You can watch those too. And just, keep studying, and I'm going to release some more videos outside of that on some other stuff too, like valuation of investing, finding good value in companies, and so if you're a value investor and you're looking into that kind of stuff, I'm working on getting some videos together on that as well. So until then, guys, take care, and I'll talk to you later.